Hello lovely people, today I'm going to give you some Gamine outfit ideas based on my own style. We're going to use the Kibbe image ID and Kitchener Essence system, so it would help to have some knowledge on these systems. In short, it's a philosophy of yin and yang in terms of bone structure and flesh and the overall vibe you give off. Instead of the more common conform to an hourglass idea, it's about embracing your natural shape. So I think I have predominantly Gamine and natural essence, so how do I use this information in my outfits? The first thing is my short vertical line. I'm small and look it. I think I go for more cropped silhouettes, shorter items like mini skirts as they don't look short on me. If I want to wear longer clothing, I lengthen my vertical line with heels and go for a higher neckline. I can handle geometric print and higher contrast because of my blend. I do this with small geometric prints and predominantly a black and white wardrobe, opting for pops of colour in makeup and accessories. This way, if I want to wear something more yin, which isn't as harmonious with my yang leaning balance, I can still bring an element of a yang with colour and pattern. I like the juxtaposition of a tighter fit, which is a Gamine recommendation, and a looser, more skimmy fit for naturals. I think I can handle both the harsh juxtaposition, which I feel works for my blend, and just for the unblended nature of Gamines. I also keep my hair in line with the natural essence, having it tousled looking, whether it is longer or shorter. I can handle shorter or longer hair because of my blend, but I look awful if things are too sleek. Everyone's different. Even if we have the same blend, it will present itself differently within you. But I think these guidelines can help with choosing clothing, and when looking at a whole outfit, you can hone in on things that look off to adjust. I think visuals can also help with finding style inspiration. I like to hold onto that Gamine concept of unblended contrast, so I like to take my interests and pit opposing ones against each other. One example is Bauhaus and Art Nouveau. I think they're both beautiful aesthetics even though they're opposites. Bauhaus is about geometric, contrasted, simplistic design inspired by mass production with the idea of creating items that are easily made on a mass scale as a result of production methods getting more mechanized since the previous century. Art Nouveau is about natural, organic forms, blended watercolors, and a rebellion against mass production as a result of the Industrial Revolution in places like Britain. There were techniques like smocking, which were done by hand. There was this idea of having a human element to things. I can combine these interests of mine together. For example, I'm a sewist, so I could hand sew something in more geometric contrasted lines and embrace the asymmetric imperfection of handcrafts. I can have a geometric print on a more flowy, organic shaped skirt. It's quite fun. You can put your opposing interests together in fun ways. I'd love to hear what your opposing interests are and how you mesh them together. The 20s and the 60s are seen as the Gamine silhouette decades, so you can look to those eras for inspiration. I'd say the 30s and 70s are more natural and unconstructed, so I like to look there sometimes too. For designers I've added Miu Miu, especially in the 2010s, which is a very youthful and fun and maelstrom of colour and pattern with the geometric accessories, and that's quintessential Gamine. Belle de Givenchy dressed Audrey Hepburn, who is the poster child for Gamine fashion at this point, and is good for a more classic style as someone with a Gamine essence. Elsa Schiaparelli was into surrealism. She's associated with Salvador Dali. She made really fun and exciting work at a very tough time in history with things like the Great Depression and people making clothes out of chicken feeder bags and the general awful economy and fascism in Germany on the rise. I think perhaps we can maybe see similar patterns in the economy and politics right now, and I really appreciate this optimistic fashion that would have brought people some comfort. She popularized shocking pink, and we saw pink come back recently in a similar light, and I generally love how playful the fashion house was, yet also had more classic, understated looks too. It's great inspiration for classy playfulness. Mary Quant popularised the miniskirt inspired by the cool teens and the young people and their street fashion. It's also very fun and playful. I find this nostalgic probably as I grew up in Britain. The makeup and dolls are a great example of that playful, youthful aesthetic. So that's not an exhaustive list. Hopefully you get the kind of vibe I'm going for. Okay, now it's time to roast my outfits. This one is like a natural sandwich. The gamine on the top and bottom. I've got my hair in a ponytail with some wisps and messiness, which really compliments me. This top is an elasticated floral lace top with a black cami top underneath. We've got a natural floral pattern. The lace means there's contrast between my skin and the two tops. It's close fit and high neck, so very gamine. The trousers are made out of cotton twill in a light colour with a relaxed fit. It's much more natural. And some gamine black rounded ballet flats. The trousers are a bit much for my small vertical line. They're very slouchy and it covers my ankles. It overwhelms me a bit, but I don't mind that. You don't need to have every element perfectly harmonious to look nice. You don't have to apply every essence recommendation at once. You can wear something disharmonious, like me wearing the baggy trousers to look sort of edgy and extra small. Here is a good example of how cropped silhouettes don't look cropped on gamines. The miniskirt doesn't look super short on me compared to other essences. I've got more natural hair with a pearl necklace worn as a headdress, so gamine with the playfulness and it being a sphere, so a geometric shape. I've got a gamine high neckline to balance out the sort of romantic neckline. The pattern is very gamine with the contrast of the very yin scalloped lace against the yang pattern. It's a great juxtaposition to mimic the unblended yin and yang in my form. The skirt is a favourite of mine. It's not too wide, has contrasting colour and a heavier yang fabric and darker against the yin lightweight lace in white. The shoes are a favourite of mine too. They're quite gamine, pointed toe, a low chunky heel that curves. It also expresses my interest in fashion history, as these are reproduction Edwardian shoes. I think this is a good example of a girly outfit without having to wear something super duper yin. Yang leaning people can still dress feminine if they want to. This is what I call the reverse Beetlejuice dress. It's gamine with the contrasting stripes, and the stripe around the waist helps break up my form visually. It's fairly narrow. It's also natural with the square neckline, and it's made out of linen. Clothing will rarely be 100% one type, so see if you can find pieces with a range of your essences. It's another predominantly gamine line with a geometric contrasted headband. The high neck floral lace top is back, and so is the pointed Edwardian shoe. Again, I've used my hair mainly as the natural element. This one is probably my most natural leaning one. I've got the messy longer hair, floral hair clips, rose quartz choker. I've added some gamine by the beads being round. The dress skims my form and is quite lightweight. I've got a jade bangle on. The gamine element is the check print and the contrast in the black and white with the trim on the dress and the colours I've chosen. I've got chunky heels to compensate for the longer dress. I wanted to point out the bag because it's based on a Givenchy bag. It's a bowling ball bag style, a rounded geometric shape, and it's small. I think a bowling ball style bag is a good shape for gamines. I've got a Sanrio charm hanging off of it to show playfulness and my personality. Also, marker supremacy. Please let me know your favourite Sanrio character. If your favourite is rarely made into merch, I feel your pain. This is probably one of my favourites as it's cold where I live, and as much as I like miniskirts, I get cold. I can layer things underneath the dress and still look cute. So that's it. I think I've got a nice selection of gamine and natural outfits there. Let me know what you think. I wanted to show some outfits that were a bit more eccentric, as a lot of recommendations are for casual clothing, and I wanted to show how to put your personal style into your essence. Okay, thank you for watching and bye! I keep wanna rolling the R's I keep rolling R's. I can't. It's just Spanish twang, I guess. Uber, dit is van Uber. Every time I want to say Uber, I just want to roll the R's. Like, how do you not roll an R when you say Uber? Uber. How do you not do that? I don't know. Uber. Anyway.